September. I don't know when September was. We premiered this on September in the Toronto International Film Festival. We had this like beautiful premiere, huge theater, packed. I think we all had a really good experience, and then we had this little after party, and it took me a second to get there because I was with some friends and my mom had come, and just as I was going in, I noticed that Nas is his way out, and he gives me a really warm hug, and then just leaves. I'm like, wait, what happened? Is he like? And I go up to Zach, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why did he just leave? And he's like, hey, he was really inspired, and he just booked some studio and went to record. I think it just shows you a little bit how creativity informs and inspires more creativity, and I think that the process of making this movie, curious to hear how you both felt about it, but for me it just really inspired me, and I think seeing someone who is constantly every day trying to push himself to be as honest and as vulnerable and as inspiring as he can to so many people who look up to him. To me, it was a really beautiful experience, and now I want to book some studio time.
Yeah, I'll add to that too, just quickly. I remember the first time that I went to your house, there's like the wall of memes, and a lot of it is really funny and absurd. But in the middle, like literally in the middle, is a picture of Marsha P. Johnson. And I remember like seeing that, and something clicked for me at that moment, because I understood that you understood what your position was and the legacy of other, Black queer performers and activists, and there was a consciousness to you that I think I realized at that moment that was like subtle but very strong, and it gave me a greater sense of what the story could be, and my respect for you as a person and as an artist just like was cemented in that moment. So that was really beautiful.
Don't make me like get emotional. Shout out Marsha P. Yeah. That's the creativity question. I mean, of course, like I make, I'm creating music like every day because it's the only thing that keeps me like sane from, I don't know, going to a mental breakdown or something. But outside of that, watching this film, I definitely cried, I cried, and I didn't expect to be emotional. I was like, oh, it's going to be like a nice little thing. They're going to show some of the clips of the doc. They're going to show some of the like performance clips. I was like, oh, we're like airing out my entire life. And I was like, oh, okay, this is actually beautiful though. Like, I'm excited for fans to see it, and I've been making a lot of like introspective stuff, like based on this last couple of years, the events and that and whatnot. So I'm happy what tour and this documentary and working with these amazing people, has allowed me to do. So yeah.
Again, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to. Anyways, the music question. We did get a new tune at the end. Can you tell us about album, project?
Okay, so
we're all here.
well, I released one thing so far, and there's been a lot of things.
Well, you got girls.
No, there's been a lot of things with it. I'm happy for it. I'm proud of it. I'm very excited for a lot of the things I have coming up. And I'm very excited to share with the world. And, I'm always standing 10 toes behind my art. So whatever anybody feels about it, that's up to them.
I love that. I also love, a lot of things, because he's not going to tell us nothing. And, I just thought, perhaps, maybe. Nice. You've been so generous. You've been so generous.
Yeah.
So generous. But it's coming.
It's coming.
It's happening.
It's happening. I'm excited. Yay! And music car!
So, I want to know from the powers that be. I really can't see anyone, so I don't know if I'm getting the Sandman at any point. But how much time do we have? Do I have time to ask this crew one or two more questions? Yes? Perfect. I would really love to know if there was a day where, and it could have been either one of your calls, where it's like, cut the cameras, we just, not today?
I'm never trying to cut the camera.
That's all I kind of wanted to know.
I had to kick them out sometimes. But you know, it's more so you just need your own little piece. You know, sometimes, of course, you want to record everything and like get your life out there and whatnot. But sometimes I just want to I don't know, want to eat some a McChicken, and I don't want them to be in the room when I eat the McChicken. But yeah, nothing crazy.
There were a couple times when I was like, come on, Montero, you gotta lay on the ground. And you were like, I don't know if I want to do that. But like, come on, baby. Why?
They got me to lay on the ground for the butterfly sanctuary so I can have a little memory moment. So I was like, oh, the butterflies, and it was a bunch of flashbacks. It turned out beautiful though, so I appreciate the idea. I love the idea. I'm happy it happened.
The moment with the vomiting, it happened.
Yeah.
It happened before the LA show, and we were just sitting in the back. You know, we had put this huge production together, so many cameras, and took months and months to prep. And then the show wasn't starting, and it wasn't starting. And it took a while. We were just back there being like, what is going on? And then he made this announcement, and we had no idea what was going on. We're like, is this show gonna get canceled? And just like that glorious return that you see in the movie, all of a sudden it was like, okay, never mind, he's up. And he went on stage, and we had been following him. We've been many, many cities, and he gave just the most electric performance that we had seen. I remember that show ended. We didn't even know that it was gonna happen. We were like, this is gonna get canceled. And the show that ended, and we just all looked at each other. We were kind of shaking and buzzing and being like, whoa, I can't believe that we got that on camera, because it was truly magical.
It was actually just a bunch of luck, because I was either going to kill that show or pass out from my stomach being empty. But yeah, it was great. It was amazing what he really wanted to say. They heard us want to throw up, so they ran backstage with the camera. We gotta get this.
We gotta get the shot.
Really, what happened is
yeah, I too have thrown up backstage at YouTube theater, so I get it. I totally understand. Another thing to really sort of wrap up, I know we're almost out of time. A sequence that I found really funny is how we utilize, obviously your voice in social media, because that's so much of why we do love you. And we're talking about homophobes and the joke you made about the really hot guy out front, which is really unfortunate. But I was curious to know the decision to
I didn't get his number.
Oh, well.
I was going to say something else.
No. The decision to, I would have ran out. Because you can always change minds. The decision to include that as a part of the story, how did that come together versus someone could have easily said, let's not even have it in here, let's not give them that. And I think it's really nice how you are even talking about those people and their weird beliefs. But what was the decision around keeping that in the film, having that in the film?
I guess partly it's a mechanism to show how you utilize humor as a weapon to kind of destroy the haters. I think it was important for us to engage with a reality to your existence as an artist, as someone who's very public facing, who does face a lot of backlash and a lot of public hatred, which is pretty ridiculous. Even at our TIFF premiere, we had somebody called in a bomb threat, which is just insane. To be an artist in the world would always have to be conscious about violence or hatred being perpetrated against you. But what I think you do remarkably well is to twist that and shift it and turn the knife back around and be like, you people are really silly, and what you believe in is actually really dumb, and I'm just existing, and you should too, and we should love each other.
Yeah, we still love each other.
We deserve that clap. Sorry, I was having an image of Little Boosie working the phone to call in that bomb threat.
Take that out.
I'll end here. Another thread that I didn't talk about is, we have a version of young Montero throughout this film, and that's really lovely. Talk about the decision to have that as a part of it in And then I want to hear from you, Montero, about what you would tell that young man now.
There's kind of like a full circle moment because this kid was involved in the show. He was in this little film that was shown in the last performance. Originally, he was going to go on tour, but some practical things didn't work. And then you actually had the idea. We had already edited the movie. We were about to picture lock it, or maybe we had picture locked it. And then you came back and you were like, I have an idea. We were like, okay. And he wanted to go back home. He wanted to go to Atlanta, and he wanted to shoot some footage with this kid. And we did it, and we're so happy that it ended up in the movie. But maybe you can talk about a little bit about what made you decide that you wanted to get
Well,
this.
for one, like, you know, I felt a little bad because the kid's like great and he's like so like vibrant and like happy, and I was like, I want to make him a part of like something, you know. So I brought him into this, and I also thought it'd be great to see like the parallels of like young Montero and like older Montero, because young Montero like lives inside of me and like keeps me going, you know, on those days where I feel like I'm beat the fuck down. He's like, it's like, no, we got this, like, let's get out there, like, let's remember, like, this is all like fun and silly and a game, and that's the only way I can move sometimes. If I take everything too serious, I'm gonna like crack under pressure. But yeah, so it was important to have him in there for those reasons. And shout out to him. I hope you're doing good, Max.
Well, thank you all for an incredible conversation and for sharing this beautiful movie with all of us. Thank you all for coming.
Long live Montero. Maybe it was strategical. I got it's other people that, you know, he
aware
has
of
a girlfriend.
who
You know,
I
and it's
am
not
and
always, you know, but I guess there's bisexual, but so he's gay, then you know, some gay to queer.
bad.
So
And you think,
I guess
oh my God,
the rumors about him having
like
girlfriends in
all
high school
this, like crazy
doesn't necessarily pan
stuff,
out.
like the naked
And there was a part in the movie that caught me kind of off guard.
song,
It came out of his mouth.
the
I'm
devil
not sure how he's trying to roll it out, but it definitely
this is gonna be easy, but like I felt like I had this shit like going out there, like with this skirt on, and also about the, you know, reclaiming the word. Yeah, I mean, that's one of my songs when I out, by the way. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Because it was all about
Was it
you,
want to see?
right? But he didn't necessarily
I got lost.
explain how
Hold on.
he got to the cue. It didn't tell the
But
how
yeah,
he got there, or it didn't
it
give us the
took a lot
backstory. It just kind
out
of was
of
like
me
he said
to
he got rich
do
and decided he looked for himself.
I am aware of who I am,
That was
and
a lot of it, you know, just to finding ways to love himself, you know. But
like hard beating bad.
I feel like there wasn't that
Think
proof
like how I've done like all this,
or just
like
that
crazy
story that led
stuff,
him
like
to
the
it
naked
coming out.
bathrooms,
So I was always like this. There was none of that.
song, and
There was a part
devil
where
thing.
it wasn't the
It's like,
family members would
Oh, this is gonna be easy.
the
But
grandma,
I felt like I had
and now
shit,
care for
like going out there, like with this skirt on, and also
that's why she cared for her different places and
you know, reclaiming the F word.
He's the one that you got rich in the family. So
Yeah, I mean,
without spoiling too much,
That's
I
gonna
think
one of my songs
those are my
when I
Lil
by
Nas
the way.
X.
But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
He's making more pay,
But
and now he's
what's I gonna say?
albeit, but you know,
I got lost.
do it for
Hold on one
the
second.
paper, man. Don't do it for the system, bro.
But yeah,
You,
it
like I said,
it
it's
took
the
a
love of you.
lot out of me
Like,
to do such
pushing out
a
every
thing,
day.
and I am
If you gotta
aware of
make
who I am.
because you'll go
I mean,
crazy. Are you truly happy in your true skin, bro?
Like heart beating fast, and you
Like,
think
subscribe, comment.